Hello and welcome to Conscious. On day 2 of the Ukraine impeachment trial, Donald Trump fired 142 tweets. On day 2 of the Capital Riots Impeachment Trial, Donald Trump did not have an account to tweet. And boy, oh boy, what a difference that has made. For all those people who still think social media has no influence on the society's belief system and social media only promotes discussion, you have to think again. All you have to do is take a look at how media coverage got influenced and evolved throughout the second day of Trump's first impeachment trial and second impeachment trial in the Senate. It's a treasure trove of data that is absolutely worth digging into. With that being said, let us roll into our topic of the day: what happened on day 2 of the trial. The House impeachment managers, the prosecution, spoke less and allowed Mr. Trump and his supporters to do all the talking, using videos and audio clips. They did whatever they could to bring the eventful day back into life. The Times reported, in their efforts to prove that Mr. Trump was undeniably behind the attack, House impeachment managers let the former president tell the story in his own words, airing a Trump Twitter blitz worthy of the former Twitter-in-chief himself. This time, however, his posts were marked with the prosecutor's evidence stamp. Often it was highlighted in yellow. There were two notable tweets the prosecution used to buttress their case. One that Trump sent out on December 19th. Big protest in DC on January 6th. Be there, will be wild. The other one was sent out on December 26th. The Justice Department and the FBI have done nothing about the 2020 presidential election voter fraud, the biggest scam in our nation's history, despite overwhelming evidence. They should be ashamed. History will remember. Never give up. See everyone in DC on January 6th. The repeated mention of January 6th by Donald Trump must be noted here. As we thought it would happen, the impeachment managers showed the senators plenty of footage that we never saw. What they also did was, using the timelines in multiple videos, the impeachment managers showed the senators how close they were to trouble and how they escaped the mob. The managers used a diagram of the building to show where the rioters were at a given point of time and how far they were from the officials inside the building. Representative Eric Salwell, one of the impeachment managers, told the senators, "You know how close you came to the mob, but most of the public does not know how close the rioters came to you." You can see in this clip Senator Romney walking straight towards something, and an officer, Eugene Goodman, who we all know well, makes him change his direction. So during the course of the arguments, the impeachment managers kept asking the senators what message they wanted to send to Americans about the character of the country. And this is a must read, as chronicled by Washington Post. The managers also showed just how intent some of the rioters were on doing harm to elected leaders, actively searching for pens at the same time he was being evacuated from a room off the Senate floor. As Goodman led the mob up the stairs, the rioters were at one moment within 100 feet of the small room where the vice president was sheltering with his family, according to impeachment manager Stacey Plaskett. Eugene Goodman led the mob away from where Pence was hiding. So here's a quick highlight of the events from Washington Post.
Good morning. Good day. Some people think this trial is a contest of lawyers, or even worse, a competition between political parties. It's neither. It's a moment of truth for America. The evidence will show you that ex-President Trump was no innocent bystander. The evidence will show that he clearly incited the January 6th insurrection. It will show that Donald Trump surrendered his role as commander-in-chief and became the inciter-in-chief of a dangerous insurrection.
That mob was summoned, assembled, and incited by the former President of the United States, Donald Trump. In the weeks prior to, during, and after the election, he used the same words over and over and over again. You will hear over and over three things. You can see them on the screens.
Now, all of us in this room have run for election, and it's no fun to lose. I'm a Texas Democrat. We've lost a few elections over the years. But can you imagine telling your supporters that the only way you could possibly lose is if an American election was rigged and stolen from you? And senators, all of us know and all of us understand how dangerous that is for our country. Because the most combustible thing you can do in a democracy is convince people that an election doesn't count.
Our commander-in-chief tweeted, "Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild." This was the save the date, sent out 18 days before the event on January 6th. And it wasn't a casual one-off reference or a single invitation. For the next 18 days, Donald Trump would make sure to remind them over and over and over to show up on January 6th. And he would tell them exactly what he wanted them to do.
And let me be very clear. The president wasn't just coming for one or two people or Democrats like me. He was coming for you, for Democratic and Republican senators. He was coming for all of us, just as the mob did at his direction.
There is some very graphic, violent footage coming, just so people are aware.
What you are about to hear has not been made public before.
Multiple capital entries! Multiple capital entries!
1318.
A 12 to 50, we're coming around from the south side.
Officer Goodman passes Senator Mitt Romney and directs him to turn around in order to get to safety.
You were just 58 steps away from where the mob was amassing and where police were rushing to stop them. They were yelling. In this security video, you can see how the Capitol Police created a line and blocked the hallway with their bodies to prevent rioters at the end of the hall from reaching you and your staff. This body camera footage is from 4:27 p.m., over 2 hours from when the Capitol was first breached. The attack on police that afternoon was constant.
Well, some of you may say, well, who was paying attention anyway? Well, that mob was paying attention.
Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution.
And Mike Pence is not a traitor to this country. He's a patriot. Senators, you've seen all the evidence so far, and this is clear. On January 6th, President Trump left everyone in this Capitol for dead.
Statements were attributed to me moments ago by the House impeachment managers. Statements relating to the content of conversations between a phone call involving President Trump and Senator Tuberville were not made by me. They're not accurate, and they're contrary to fact. I move pursuant to Rule 16 that they be stricken from the record.
Okay, we're going to withdraw it this evening and without any prejudice to the ability to resubmit it if possible, and then we can debate it if we need it, but this is much ado about nothing because it's not critical in any way to our case.
You're not the one being cited as a witness, sir.
Senate stands adjourned.
Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please do subscribe.